Welcome to Star Expose. If you love celebrity news and real entertainment updates, you're in the right place. Kelly Ripa has revealed that her husband, Mark Consuelos, has been fighting for his life. Yes, those were her exact words. What began as quiet, private conversations behind closed doors has now turned into a heartfelt, public confession that no one saw coming. What did Kelly admit? What has been happening behind the cameras, behind those smiles we've all come to love? And most importantly, what lies ahead for one of television's most beloved couples? Kelly's words have changed everything. For years, Kelly and Mark have stood as one of Hollywood's strongest duos. They were vibrant, witty, full of chemistry, the kind of love that seemed unshakable. Their laughter on air, their playful teasing, their open affection, it made millions believe in forever. But as Kelly revealed, even the brightest smiles can hide the deepest pain. In a deeply emotional moment, she told her audience that Mark's recent struggles went far beyond exhaustion or overwork. It wasn't just stress or age or burnout. It was something much more frightening, a fight for survival. Her voice broke as she said the words. He's been battling health problems that we never fully understood. She described the endless nights, the quiet, sleepless hours sitting by his bedside, the hallway whispers from doctors, the tests, the scans, the silence between answers. There were moments, Kelly admitted, when she looked at him and felt him slipping away, a thought that nearly shattered her. For a long time, they hid it. Not out of shame, but out of hope. They wanted to protect their children, their fans, and the life they built together. They kept working, they kept smiling, they kept pretending everything was fine. But behind the scenes, their world was slowly unraveling. Kelly said the moment everything changed came one quiet evening at home. Mark, exhausted, looked at her and whispered, "I'm not sure I can do this much longer." She said that those words hit her like a tidal wave. It was no longer about work or appearances. It was about survival. From that moment on, Kelly was no longer just a wife or a co-host. She became a caregiver, a warrior, and the keeper of hope. She remembered the nights spent holding his hand, waiting for him to wake up. She remembered praying, not for fame, not for fortune, but just for another day. Another sunrise together. The doctors didn't have all the answers. Some tests came back normal, others terrifyingly unclear. They heard words like unstable, critical, and monitor closely, but no clear diagnosis ever came. Kelly confessed that living in that uncertainty was its own kind of torture. Every morning she would wake up afraid to look over and find the bed empty. She said, "Sometimes I would stare at him and wonder if I was already losing him piece by piece." Yet through all of it, she refused to give up. When she stepped onto the Live with Kelly and Mark stage the next day, she smiled, she laughed, she carried on, because that's who she is, strong, graceful, unbreakable. But inside, she was crumbling. She said that the hardest part was pretending everything was okay when nothing was. People saw her bright smile, her jokes, her sparkling energy, but they didn't see the tears in her dressing room afterwards. They didn't see her running to the hospital as soon as the cameras stopped rolling. For a long time, there was no name for what was happening to Mark. No single explanation could capture his symptoms: the fatigue, the pain, the sudden weakness. Some days, he was fine. Other days, he could barely move. Kelly shared one heartbreaking moment that she said she would never forget. One evening, Mark looked at her and said, "I feel like parts of me are already gone." Those words haunted her. How do you respond to that? How do you hold on to someone who feels like they're disappearing before your eyes? Still, she stayed strong. She became his voice when he was too tired to speak. She demanded answers when doctors hesitated. She asked every question, fought every doubt, and held on to every ounce of faith. She said, "I refused to let him fade away. not while I still had breath in me. But the most emotional revelation came when Kelly finally shared what she had kept hidden even from her closest friends. During a recent broadcast, her voice trembled as she said the words that broke hearts across the country. "I thought I might lose him." She admitted she spent nights crying herself to sleep, terrified that he might not be there in the morning. She prayed for strength, not just for healing, but for time. Time to say what needed to be said. Time to make more memories. Time to see their children grow. For once, the world didn't see the celebrity or the talk show host. They saw the wife, the mother, the woman behind the spotlight who was breaking under the weight of love and fear. Kelly remembered sitting in that cold hospital room, holding his hand, whispering, "Don't go." She said she didn't care about the cameras, the fame, or the career. She only cared about him. And still, despite all the heartbreak, she never lost hope. She believed that if love could heal, then Mark would recover. Her honesty sparked a wave of emotion around the world. Fans flooded social media with messages of love, prayers, and support. People who had faced their own battles shared their stories, saying Kelly's words gave them courage. They saw not just a TV host, but a woman who had faced the unimaginable and refused to break. Kelly didn't reveal the exact nature of Mark's illness, and maybe she didn't need to. What mattered most was the message that life can change in an instant, and love is what carries us through. She said, "You never think it's going to happen to you until it does." And with that, she reminded the world that no matter how glamorous a life may look from the outside, pain does not discriminate. It can find anyone, even those who seem to have it all.
She expressed her gratitude for the doctors, the fans, and the friends who stood by them. But above all, she thanked Mark for fighting, for staying, for choosing life. She said, "He's my strength. Even when he's weak, he's still my strength." That line alone moved millions. Today, Mark's recovery is ongoing. The road ahead is uncertain, but one thing is clear. Their love has never been stronger. They've learned to slow down, to cherish the quiet mornings, the shared meals, the laughter that still fills their home. Kelly says she no longer takes a single moment for granted. Their story has become a symbol, not of fame, but of faith, not of perfection, but of perseverance. Fans around the world continue to send their love, reminding Kelly and Mark that they are not alone, that their courage and honesty have inspired thousands to hold on tighter to the people they love. Kelly ended her statement with a quiet promise. She said, "We're still fighting. We're still here. And as long as there's love, there's hope." That's the beauty of their story. It's not about a television couple. It's about two people, flawed, human, and deeply connected, fighting through fear with love as their only weapon. So tonight, as the world processes Kelly's heartbreaking update, one thing stands above all the sadness. Their bond remains unbroken, their faith unshaken, their love unending. Because in the end, it's not the fame, the spotlight, or the applause that defines them. It's the quiet moments, the whispered prayers, the trembling hands, the promise to keep going no matter what. Kelly and Mark's journey is far from over. But if there's one thing their story proves, it's that even in the darkest battles, love can be the light that leads you home. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts below. Your support helps keep stories like this alive. Stories that remind us that behind every celebrity, there's a human heart. And behind every struggle, there's still hope. Thanks for watching Star Expose. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next big story.